What's going on, y'all? We are back with another week of predictions. Went a perfect 6-0 in a wild card round. Got the Bengals right, Bills right, Bucks right, 49ers, Rams, and Chiefs. So pretty surprising. But if you're new to the channel, hit that like button for me before I get started. Subscribe, drop a like, and drop a comment down below. If you want to catch live reactions, hit the link in the description. Follow me on Twitch. I go live different days throughout the week. And we'll be doing a lot more streaming considering the fact that the season is ending soon. So yeah, man. We'll start off with the wild card recap pretty much, and then I'll get into picks after. So, all right, so we had the Raiders versus the Bengals. In this game, I do recall, I just felt like the Bengals offense was just a lot more efficient, and their defense made more plays in this game than the Raiders. It's like it was a very close game and very close in the sense of competitiveness, but the Raiders were just like a step ahead of the Raiders. They're pretty close. It was a good game. They're pretty close, but the Raiders are just a step ahead of them. Derek Carr threw for 310. Josh Jacobs, so he was the only rusher. Wow. 13 carries for 83 yards. Darren Waller leading the team with 7 catches, 76 yards. Zay Jones made a couple big plays. Joe Burrow efficient, 244 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Joe Mixon got shut down, 17 carries, 48 yards. Look at Jamar Chase, 3 for 23, and he went off also with 9 for 116. But didn't get into the end zone. But CJ Uzama made some plays as well. Raiders defense, I mean, their run defense has actually picked up towards the end of the season. Actually been pretty solid. I don't know where they rank for the full season, but they actually been pretty solid. But again, like I said, I just felt like the Bengals were just a step above, just a little better, man. But it's what it is. You got the Pats versus Bills, the blowouts, the domination, the AFC East takeover. Mac Jones, 232 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. 2 touchdowns were at that point they're pretty much losing already. The game was pretty much over. Kendrick Bourne with both touchdowns, 7 catches, 77 yards. Ramondre had 8 carries. Damian Harris had 9. So they did a pretty good job as far as shutting down the run goes. Had them contained. With the Bills defensively playing amazing. Josh Allen, 308 yards, 5 touchdown passes thrown. Devin Singletary, 16 for 81, 2 touchdowns rushed. Just overall good game for them, man. Josh, even 66 yards on the ground. Wow. Dawson Knox, 5 for 89, 2 touchdowns for him. Stephon Diggs, Isaiah McKenzie, Gabe Davis, Emmanuel Sanders, Cole Beasley. Very, very nice receiving corps. Very nice, man. And it's not much to say. We're gonna see how this divisional game plays out. But Pats, I mean, congrats to them, man, for even making it, to that point. I see a bright future for them. I really do. So we'll see how everything plays out. Got Bill Belichick as head coach. Bills got it for right now. Buccaneers and the Eagles, another blowout, pretty much. I mean, wasn't a huge blowout, but 30 points, 31. Jalen Hurts, 258 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, 39 on the ground. Boston Scott, I think that was a pretty key touchdown. Kenny Gainwell with a touchdown on the receiving end. Dallas Goedert led them with 92 receiving yards. Tom Brady, he did his thing, efficient. They played a good game. Keyshawn Vaughn and Gio had some pretty good runs, but it looks like for the most part they were pretty ineffective. 13 for 44 and 17 for 53. They ran the ball a lot. So I mean, it had to be effective in some form, some shape and fashion for them to run the ball that many times, regardless of the average yards per carry. Both of them got into the end zone. Mike Evans had 100 yards. Gronk made some big catches as well. Mike Evans had 100 yards, 9 catches, and the TD. So on to the next round for the Bucks Eagles. I gotta say, man, with the Eagles, I don't know what to expect with them, and that was like this whole season. Would have never expected them to get in playoffs. I just don't know what to expect with them. It's kind of just what it is, how I perceive them. It's a lot of unpredictables. They can come back harder next season. They definitely can. It's been a continuous growth, considering the fact that the whole NFC East grew from last year to this year. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Just it's a lot of young players on the team, especially offensively. So maybe another year to mature, another year to grow. And I think they can add some pieces on the defensive end. We'll see what happens though. 49ers and Cowboys, probably the worst way. This is probably the worst loss in playoff history, at least that I can remember. This is the worst way to lose a playoff game. because it's final seconds. Like, and there's no guarantee that the Cowboys would have even converted the Hail Mary because they wouldn't needed a Hail Mary. So it's no guarantee of that either. But it's just the way that they lost. So kind of sucks. Jimmy G, no touchdowns, 172, 1 pick. Elijah Mitchell, 96 yards and 1 on the ground. Debo, wow, 72 yards, 1 touchdown, averaging 7.2 yards a carry on 10 carries. He also put up 38 receiving yards. Brandon Ayuk led the team with 66. Juwan Jennings, I forgot Juwan was a rookie, man, but he's been really effective. Dak Prescott, 254, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Zeke, 12 rushes for 31 yards on the ground. I'm curious, how many years does Zeke have left on his contract? Like, I'm curious if they're going to keep him, because I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, it's just their run game overall, even the O-line, just doesn't feel the same, And like, I know he got paid big, so would y'all consider him being overpaid? Just from the fan perception, y'all let me know. But hey, shout out to him for getting his money though. But just from the fan perception, Dalton Schultz leading the team with 7 catches, 89 yards. Amari Cooper, 6 for 64 and a touchdown. So that was probably one of the most entertaining games. One of the because it was actually close considering how many blowouts we had. Yeah, it definitely was. I can say that. But 49ers on to the next round. Cowboys, I don't know. It felt like this was their year. Like, this was their year they had to do something. So we'll see how next year plays out. They're still a good team. Still got most of their players, I believe, on the contract still. So everybody's fine. It's not too much to worry about. I don't think so. So just build off of what you did this year. Like, y'all gonna have to, I don't know, add some to it. Like, I don't know exactly like what it is, but they need to do something, bro. Because I think they're retaining a lot of players, but I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is that you can say they need. I mean, you can upgrade some pieces on defense for sure. They got a lot of weapons on offense. Just need to stay healthy. I'll probably add another running back for sure in the draft or in free agency. A guy who I feel is starter potential or number 2 potential. So I'm just gonna, if I were them, I would just rotate backs. Like, honestly, I just rotate. Add another receiver in there. They got a decent amount of receivers, but I add another receiver in there, and I don't know. On the defensive side of the ball, y'all let me know what y'all think. Steelers versus Chiefs, we got a blowout. Big Ben, 215, 2 touchdowns, no picks. So, I mean, it's good. Najee Harris, 12 for 29, pretty much got shut down. James Washington had him a nice catch for a touchdown. Pat Mahomes, 404, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick. Travis Kelce, 1 pass for 1 touchdown. So, it's 6 passing touchdowns in the game. It's pretty cool. Jared McKinnon, he been making plays, man. The last game they played and this game, so it's pretty wild to not see him becoming the starting running back. But hey, look how they played out. Travis had 108 yards also and a touchdown. Jared had 6 catches for 81 yards. I know he did some work on screens, so he put up a lot of yards in this game. DeMarcus Robinson, Tyreek. So they just dominated. It is what it is. Steelers, if I'm them, I'm going after Deshaun Watson. That would be the best fit for him personally. They already have a nice culture there as far as football goes. A very competitive roster. A lot of good players on that team. Good head coach. Solid receiving core. Got you a future All-Pro running back in Najee Harris, and got a lot of competitive guys on that team. So I will go after him. If you can't get him, then I just say draft. That's it. If Big Ben does retire, but even if he doesn't, I still say go find another quarterback. I think so. If it's draft, then have whoever it is sit behind Ben or something. You know what I mean? Well, if it's free agency or if you could trade for Watson, there you go. Rams versus Cardinals. We got Kyler Murray, 137, 2 picks. Pretty much just had a rough game. They did a great job containing him. I ain't gonna lie. Chase Edmonds, 8 for 28. James Conner got into the end zone, but not super effective with only 19 rushing yards. Christian Kirk led the team, 6 catches, 51 yards. They definitely missed DeAndre Hopkins. I expected AJ Green to have a bigger role in his offense. If I'm being honest, I expected him to actually get do some work, beat one-on-one opportunities. But I don't know. Either they don't look at him like that, or he lost a step, or lost some steps. So it's one of the two. Matt Stafford, 202, 2 touchdowns, no picks, very efficient game, 13 for 17. Odell threw 1 pass for 40 yards. Sonny Michel had a pretty good game on the ground. Had a nice 1-2 punch with him and Cam Akers. Cooper Kupp, Odell had a pretty good game. Just a regular for them, pretty much. Defense balled out. Everybody did their thing, and overall, good game by the Rams. Cards. I just don't know. I don't know what to expect from them next year. I didn't expect for them to do this good this year. I expect them to be competitive, but nowhere near as good as they were during the season. So we'll see how next year plays out. I don't really have any real expectations for them. Got a lot of nice players on the roster. It can only go up from here, honestly, considering how good they did this year. Just see where y'all went wrong, fix those, and I don't know, just build more chemistry. It's another year of growth. So what's going on, y'all? So today I have a big favor to ask of you guys. Hit the like button first, but that's not the favor. Favor is I have my first sponsor of 2022, and I will be doing a giveaway, $50 gift card, or Cash App if you prefer Cash App. So it's up to y'all. All you have to do is click the link in the description, or it's in the comment section as well. Download the game. You have to use my link. It's called War Robots. I played it on stream. All you have to do is get to level 5. Get to level 5, screenshot it, send it to me on Instagram. I will put everybody's name in a drawing, and whoever wins. If we can get 60 people by the 26th, I'll do it. And if we can get 60 people before the 26th, I'll up it to 80. It only took me 25 minutes, by 25. So if you're chilling, you got some free time in the day. It was pretty quick. They kind of walk you through it. They kind of guide you through it, man. They put circle points on the parts where it takes you to get the steps to get to level 5. So it's all pretty simple. So again, man, yeah, appreciate y'all. Y'all hit that link to it. I'll see y'all later for the stream. And yeah, man, stay blessed. All right, man, we are jumping into the wild card. I said wild card. Divisional round picks. And this is tough. This is very tough. So I'm gonna start off with the game that I think could possibly be the least entertaining game. These are all good games, definitely. But I'm gonna start with the Bengals versus Titans, and I'm gonna give this one to the. So surprisingly, looking at this, we expect the Titans to come in, run the ball. Got a good thing going with Deontay Foreman. Derrick Henry is back. This would be a nice duo, and it'll be a nice way to integrate Derrick Henry into the offense. So, did not know this, but the Bengals have the 4th best rushing offense in the league. Did not know that. I did not know the rushing defense was that good. So, it'll be a tough game for the Titans. If I look at actual opponents, so throughout the season, they played the Vikings earlier in the season. Dalvin Cook ran for 61 yards. They held him to 3 yards a carry. So I was pretty much looking at like really good running backs. Najee didn't really get going at the beginning of the season. 40 yards against them. Wow. The Ravens, Lamar had 88 yards. It's a little easier for Lamar to get yards than just straight running back handoffs. Against the Browns, Nick Chubb ran for 137. Oh my gosh. So they did really good. They did really good prior to this as far as containing the run. But it's Nick Chubb, so I'm not gonna say I'm gonna give him a pass, but it's Nick Chubb. Next time they played the Steelers, I'm not even gonna look at that. That was 41-10. Terrible. 49ers, that's a really good matchup. Really good run game. Oh, they did pretty good containing them. Debo had 37 rushing yards, and Jeff Wilson had 56, averaging 4.3 yards a carry. So that's solid, but they did a good job containing for the most part. I'll say that. Broncos had 2 900-yard rushers, so let's see how they did here. Held Javonte for 72, Melvin Gordon for 53. Still a decent amount of yards between them, but that I think I could say they did solid against them. Ravens in the second game, Josh Johnson played. I'm not even gonna look at this. And let's see, the Browns again. Dearness Johnson ran for 123. I think they were playing. The Bengals rested players in this game, if I'm not mistaken, right? So in big games, I think they only allowed like 2 or 3 100-yard rushers. 2, I think, if I'm not mistaken, just from looking at this. If we look at the top rushing offenses, it's the Eagles, Colts, Ravens, Browns, Titans, Bills, Niners, Patriots, Cowboys, Cardinals, Seahawks. Of this, they played 1, 2, 3 of the top 10 teams in rushing offense. Swept the Ravens, got swept by the Browns, lost to the 49ers. Browns put up 100 yards on them both games. Niners was solid, but it was nothing just spectacular. I think just looking at that stat line, it was a pretty competitive game, and it was balanced attack from the 49ers. So the run game, I think the Titans will have a 100-yard rusher, because whether that be, it'll probably be Derek, but whether that be Derek or Deontay, I think somebody's going to get 100 or at least 90, 95 maybe. So the run game will be effective, because against elite runners or elite rushing attacks, which why I would consider the 49ers definitely, and the Browns, they lost. And they were effective, at least to some extent. I don't think the 49ers did too bad. That was a good game. And they went in overtime. So I don't see them completely stopping the Titans run game. I see them being effective on some plays, but definitely don't see them stopping the Titans run game. And that's what's gonna be the bread and butter for the Titans. Bengals have one of the worst rushing offenses in the league. That's actually kind of surprising. Joe Mixon is nice though, but they're towards the bottom, like below average. Titans have the second best rushing defense in the league, so I can see the Titans containing that to some extent. Titans slowed down Chris Carson for 31 yards, averaging 2.4 yards a carry. Slowed down Jonathan Taylor, only 64 yards. Played Jonathan Taylor again, only 70 yards. Najee Harris, only 18 yards. And Jeff Wilson, only 45 yards, averaging 3.2 yards a carry. So I could say I would trust their run defense a little bit more. So I don't see Joe Mixon getting too loose in this game. So just by expectation, could see the Bengals running on the just by expectation, could see the Titans running on the Bengals, and they'll slow down Joe Mixon. Cincinnati has the 7th best passing offense in the league. Titans actually have one of the worst passing defenses in the league. It's pretty odd though, because towards the end of the season they start playing a lot better just as a unit defensively, but they got one of the worst passing defenses. Oh, the Bengals do too, actually. That's pretty wild. They're right next to each other. So ideally we can see both of these teams at least putting up some passing yards. Titans don't really pass that much. It's gonna be heavy run, but I feel like they are an effective pass team, so it'd be interesting to see. Doesn't really look like the Titans played too many big time passing teams. The Rams, I have to do against them. They beat them. 294 yards for Matt Stafford, 2 picks. Chiefs demolished the Chiefs 27-3. Mahomes only 206 yards, 1 interception. Josh Allen beat Josh Allen. Oh wow, 353, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. So he didn't do too bad, but yeah, I forgot that game honestly. Russell Wilson beat. Okay, so they actually beat some quality quarterbacks. Russell Wilson 343. He had a good game too, so it's pretty wild. He lost to Kyler Murray in week 1. Now, obviously, I wouldn't consider Ryan Tannehill as elite, but we'll still consider, looking at some good quarterbacks the Bengals faced and see how they did. Kirk Cousins 351, 2 touchdowns. They beat the Vikings. Competitive team, very competitive team by the Vikings. Lost to the Packers in OT. Aaron Rodgers 344, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Lost to the Chargers. Justin Herbert 317, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Jimmy G pretty solid, 296, 2 touchdowns. He was efficient. I feel like the 49ers have a similar offense to the Titans. I think the 49ers are a little bit more creative, but I feel like similar, pretty close in my opinion. Could be wrong, but y'all let me know. Play Mahomes. They beat the Chiefs. Mahomes threw 259, 2 touchdowns. If I'm being honest, y'all, lean towards the Titans in this one. Just feel it. I feel the edge on their end, so I'm gonna give it to them. All right, we got the Bills versus Chiefs. Looking at their matchup in October, Bills pretty much. I remember this game. I feel like the Bills were in control of this game, 38-20. Not too huge of a lead, but it's pretty good lead, 18 points. So I remember them pretty much just handling the Chiefs. Like it was just they had the game. At this point, I kind of am leaning towards the Bills in this one, if I'm being honest. Chiefs look nice, but I don't know, man. Just the way that they did the Patriots, I don't know. Now the Chiefs have a lot of time to prepare, and I can't say I just trust their defense like that, but they do come up big sometimes. So we'll just continue to review this. So when it comes to big time quarterbacks, obviously they beat Mahomes and the Chiefs. Titans, Ryan Tannehill pretty solid. 2 for 216, 1 pick. They just ran the ball on them. Oh my gosh. Derrick Henry 143. But I mean, Derrick's hard to stop as it is, so I can't even say anything about that. Chiefs don't have a run game like the Titans do anyway, so that's kind of irrelevant. Lost to the Patriots earlier in the season. I recall that one. The Bucks, I forgot they played the Bucks this year. That'd be a pretty good rematch. Brady threw for 363, 2 touchdowns. Another factor here, Leonard Fournette ran for 100 yards, so they'll definitely have to stop the run. I see that probably as a necessity there. But yeah, they didn't really play too many elite quarterbacks, honestly, this season. Played some solid ones here and there, but not too many. Chiefs are in the bottom half when it comes to rushing offense. Well, rushing defense, I apologize. And the Bills have the 6th rushing offense in the league. Chiefs have the 6th worst passing offense in the league. Bills have the 9th best passing offense in the league. So Chiefs defense is going to have some problems. They're going to have their hands full for sure, unless they come up with a really good game plan. Chiefs have a top 5 passing offense, but the Bills have the best passing defense in the league. Chiefs about middle of the pack when it comes to rushing offense, and Bills about middle of the pack. I say below average when it comes to rushing defense. So they actually might allow some yards, but I think enough. They'll make enough plays offensively to actually get the job done. So we'll see how that plays out. But in the divisional round, I am going to give this one to the Bills. All right, next we got the Rams versus LA. We got the Rams versus Buccaneers. Rams played Bucks earlier in the year. Took them down. Had a good game against them. This is before they added Von Miller and OBJ. But obviously, Robert Woods is not there anymore. So I feel like OBJ just kind of replaces Robert Woods. We'll say that for this scenario. I'm not saying officially, you know what I'm saying, on a roster or anything. But for this scenario, we'll look at it the same as far as OBJ. But Von Miller would be the addition here. Tom threw for 400 yards, only 1 touchdown. So they pretty much contained him. Contained the run game. The run game was ineffective. Mike, 8 catches for 106 yards. Chris Godwin had a pretty solid game. So Tyler Johnson, we have a lot of guys that's going to step up in this one. Matt Stafford, 343, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Really good game by him. Gosh. Sonny Michel did his thing. And Deshaun Jackson. Man, he should have just stayed with them, man. Should have just stayed. But yeah. Now, prior to the season, like, well, at least at the beginning of the season, I would kind of feel that these things were pretty identical as far as nice receiving cores, nice run games, nice O-lines, nice defense. Bucks obviously took a drop on the offensive side of the ball, but I think their defense still is really good, and they have chemistry from a good year plus, you know, considering some of the players have been there a little longer. Same thing, Rams got chemistry too, but I don't know, man. Obviously, they lost players in the offseason. Adding Von Miller is a big help too, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's go ahead and review. So, ironically, I feel like these two teams have solid run games, but ironically, the Bucks and the Rams are in the bottom 10 when it comes to rushing offense. Both of them. It's pretty wild. Now, when it comes to rushing defense, the Bucks have the 3rd best rushing defense in the NFL. Rams only 3 spots behind them. They have the 6th ranked rushing defense in the NFL. So this is going to be a crazy game, dude. Ironically, when we talk about passing yards allowed, they both are right next to each other when it comes to passing yards allowed. They're both like below average towards the bottom of the league, but both directly next to each other. When it comes to passing offense, Bucks are number 1, Rams are number 5. Statistically speaking, Bucks, I would give the Bucks the edge in this one, but I'm kind of feeling the Rams, considering the fact that the Bucks don't have all the same weapons that they had for most of the season, which is Chris Godwin and AB. But it is kind of good that they didn't have Chris Godwin and AB, and even Mike Evans at sometimes, because the other guys got reps. So that'll be an advantage for them in this situation. in a sense, but obviously the Rams had a better receiving corps. But it'd be an advantage because they aren't entirely handicapped. It's not like AB just went down, or AB just his first time missing the game, or Chris Godwin or Mike. And Mike had a pretty good game last game, so it's tough to bet against Tom Brady, and I really want to pick the Rams in this one. But I know I bet against him last year in the playoffs, and I technically bet, but I chose the opposite team, and I recall doing that. So in this one, I think I'm gonna pick the Bucks. I prefer to pick the Rams, but I feel like the Rams are the better team right now. But I think the Bucks will take it home. So in this game, so I'm gonna roll with the Bucks in this one. Lastly, we have the 49ers versus Packers. This will be a great game, man. Looking forward to it. Great matchup. Now, one thing that stands out to me is the Packers, when they played the Browns, an elite run team, Browns ran all over them. Baker Mayfield threw 4 picks, and they were still in the game. I kind of trust Jimmy G more than I trust Baker Mayfield. I trust the 49ers offense more than I trust the Browns offense. I'm not going to say I trust their run game more, but their run game is almost as effective. But because, Nick Chubb, compared to the running backs, they got really good running backs on the Niners, but Nick Chubb to Nick Chubb. But anyways, they should have been put that game away, and Browns almost came back. So what I'm going to look at is some of these top running offenses and see how they played against them. So Packers played against the Niners earlier in the season, beat the Niners. So this is a rematch. Oh, very interesting. Very interesting. I completely forgot about this. Jimmy G threw 257, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Trey Sermon started this game. So I'm assuming either Elijah Mitchell wasn't starting at this point, or no, he had to be. I could have sworn he was actually. Was this Trey's first game starting? Or I don't know. But Trey started. Gosh, they had a lot of people rush the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gosh. So they were trying Debo back then. Look at that. But that'll be a difference. Elijah Mitchell, Debo has got a lot better in the backfield. Their run blocking has gotten better as well. So we'll see how about that. Packers 261, 2 touchdowns, no picks for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, 82 yards, 18 yards. Devontae lit them up, 12 receptions, 132 yards. But the loss was only by 2 points. So, okay. They played the Bengals. Let's see. Joe Mixon, 33 yards. Okay. Bears had a solid run game. But I don't know. Khalil ran for 97 on them. Bears had a solid run game this year. Shut the Seahawks out. I don't even want to look at that. Vikings. So they lost to the Vikings? Well, I don't remember this. Dalvin ran for 86, averaging 3.9 yards a carry. So kind of contained him. They haven't really done too bad against the run this year. See, they played the Ravens. Tyler Huntley had a good game. Remember that. He ran for 73, 2 touchdowns. Browns, obviously, Nick Chubb averaging 7.4 yards a carry. Dearness Johnson averaging 14.5 yards a carry, which is crazy. They pretty much just ran all over them. Rematch with the Vikings. They had backups in. Held Dalvin Cook to only 9 carries for 13 yards. Packers' run defense is actually not terrible. Actually, like right outside the top 10, so they're not terrible. Passing defense right at 10, so pretty good there. Passing defense for the 49ers, they're about like 6, ranked 6 for the 49ers. Rush defense for the Niners is top 10, so I can see them containing the run game for the Packers. I can see that. Let's see, Packers against elite quarterbacks. I ain't gonna say just elite, but obviously quarterbacks who had the best season. So elite in the standings of this year. Lost to the Bengals. Joe Burrow, 281, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. They did pretty good against him, actually. It's not too bad. Forced him to throw 2 picks. Beat the Cardinals. Was this? I think I remember this game. This was the Cardinals' first loss, right? I think 274 and 2 picks. Okay. Chiefs. They lost to the Chiefs. Oh, Jordan Love played. Okay, I don't really put too much on that, but 166 yards for Pat Mahomes. Wow. The Seahawks. 161 yards for Russell Wilson and 2 picks. The Vikings Okay, Kirk Cousins had a really good game in that one, but for the most part, they done a pretty good job containing QBs. The Rams, Matt Stafford 302, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. All of them, for the most part, are throwing interceptions. So, I mean, that's a plus. But Matt did low-key have a good game there. We're going to look at that. I ain't going to look at Baker. I guess that's about it. I'm kind of satisfied with who I looked at. Let's see. Baker threw 4 picks. Okay, so yeah. I don't see them really containing a 49ers run game. I think they can slow it down, but I don't think them like I say 49ers probably like say they have their best day, you know, run game wise. So just the example there, 100%. I think the Packers could keep them to like 70% of their best, and that's still pretty good because 70% is good. You know, I can see the 49ers running on the Packers, and considering how effective Debo has been, I can see that working out too. 49ers, let's see, I guess elite quarterbacks, Packers, Seattle, they lost to Seattle. Russell, he was efficient. He didn't do much, but that's an efficient stat line. That means they probably play good defense against them. The Seahawks, Trey Lance played in this one. Kyler 239, 1 touchdown, had him a good game. Oh, they got swept by the Cards. What? Colt McCoy 249 and 1 touchdown against Matt Stafford 243, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. And beat the Rams, beat the Vikings. Kirk Cousins 238, 1 pick. Got swept by the Seahawks as well. It was pretty wild. Russ 231, 1 pick. He actually had an efficient game there. He went 30 for 37. Just kind of curious how they did against the Titans. They lost to the Titans, but curious how this went. Tannehill was efficient. No run game, really. I mean, it was balanced. Nah, it wasn't balanced. They spread out, but nah, it wasn't just no clear guy. It was pretty wild. Well, no clear, like, number 1 runner. Beat the Rams. Matt threw 2 picks. Man, this is going to be a close game. It's going to be a very close game. I think hardest one to predict. I want to give it to the underdog, being the 49ers. I definitely want to give it to them. But I'm going to give it to the Packers. I think they got some players coming back as well, but this is gonna be a tough game. I believe the 49ers can do it, but if I have to pick somebody, I'm going to pick the Packers. So that's that for picks, man. Y'all hit the like button for me, subscribe, drop a comment down below. If you want to catch live reactions, hit the link in the description. Follow me on Twitch and stay tuned, stay blessed.